Yet again, it's more failed pilots, or just ones that haven't been greenlit yet. Which one's the best or worst? Which ones haven't I already covered? Comment that below. It's Juice and Jam time.
It's my birthright. Birthright.
What? How did we get here? Simon Belmont, Kid Icarus, Mega Man?
And you must be Captain N.
Before our ungrateful asses played and complained about Super Smash Bros., the 80s had Captain N, the Game Master, a crossover series between characters from Nintendo, Konami, Capcom, and more. Sounds cool, but it was pretty damn corny and made at a time where these iconic characters were still figuring themselves out.
I know what I'm doing, trust me!
I trust you, Gavinicus. If Kid Icarus trusts you, I trust you.
I'm Mega Man and you don't always die from tobacco. The show was a relic, and Nintendo kinda gave up on Western animation after the 80s, but with gaming and crossovers constantly on the rise, a modernized Captain N deserves a shot. So, Canadian animator Knox Robbins in 2019 released a fan-made pitch for Captain N, their world's champion, an unauthorized reboot where a silent protagonist must save Videoland.
Despite the underworld invasion, the people haven't lost hope. The people need your help. Are you excited?
It's a hard reboot, meaning the previous show is not canon. There's plenty of fan service and sound clips taken from the games, while I'm sure someone not familiar with these characters could still appreciate the adventure of it. Knowing it'll be a long shot, and at the time not even having footage made, the creator Knox pitched the concept around only to receive rejection, so he decided to create this trailer in 6 months and upload it online. If it weren't for the licensing issues and Nintendo being stingy with their characters, this should totally be a series. Maybe have this Captain N be more casual about video games so they can be a fish out of water surrogate for those who aren't familiar with these characters. But more cartoons and movies based on Nintendo games is something I don't want to keep missing out on. I really want this.
It all started one fateful night when I logged onto my favorite online fantasy role-playing game, Quest World.
Now, this is a Nick pilot I relate to, 2007's Kyle plus Rosemary. It's about this gamer named Kyle, voiced by Will Wheaton from Star Trek TNG. Here, Kyle's in love with someone from a different school. Click.
I love Rosemary, and Rosemary loves me, but we can never meet in the public eye.
Because we are from two different worlds.
That's right. A goth girl.
It never ends, this shit.
But they can't be together, since that's not how American public schools work. Still, they can find love in an MMORPG similar to the world of WoWcraft, where they unknowingly grow to like each other's avatar.
She trashed me over and over again during the next few days. I was in love.
I am going to fucking kill you.
While the pilot focused on romance, the real show would have been about life in school versus the virtual world. This was created by June Falkenstein, an animation director that has made a few machinimas on her YouTube channel. So she's knowledgeable on MMOs. It's a cute pilot with CG that maybe would have been improved had it been a series, yet Nick didn't pick it up. I thought maybe it was because in 2007 the MMORPG craze wasn't expected to last, which true, but online gaming is stronger than ever and also glitchier. Plus, this pilot is about finding love online. Seems a little reckless for a kid's cartoon at a time when To Catch a Predator was on TV. That's my theory, but I got a solid answer as the creator June messaged me back. They tell me how they pitched the show around, versions with less romance and versions aimed at adults, but at the time, studios were looking for either wacky characters or action-adventure. June says she could pitch the show now for today's audiences, but she's moved on. Oh well.
Hey, Kyle? Better back away from the goth girl, or you might get crypt rot.
We chickened out.
Give it a rest, cadet.
Mission, yeah. Mission.
I can't take this traffic!
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
On Nickelodeon's Planet Panic, you're taken to a futuristic buddy cop cartoon about Zeus Guy, jaded with years on the force. He's paired up with Pibbles, an overly excited young rookie ready to save the day. While Zeus is the straight man, he isn't overly cynical and is supportive of his partner being excited for the job, no matter how annoying he may seem. Zeus actually does care. Their task in this pilot is to simply help a cat stuck in a tree.
While all this happened,
I'm just looking at this art style with envy. Normally I draw fake outlines, sharp edges with varying line weight, but this cartoon does rounded edges. The line weight here is uniform, and all the massive creatures from a distance are tinted blue. It really gives them depth. It has that toon anime mixture that reminds me of the game Skullgirls. Nickelodeon really needs to do something with this art.
I'm gonna surf the car.
No.
I'm gonna surf the car.
Maybe the premise is somewhat similar to OKKO, but I think this buddy cop dynamic is enough to separate itself from that. Plus, they actually go out saving people and not just fighting people within a plaza all day. This has more of a focus on adventure. Planet Panic is a recent pilot from 2018, and the creator says, with a lot of hype and views on its YouTube upload, this can still be greenlit. Nickelodeon does pay attention to this stuff. Keep in mind, this is also based on creator Gene Goldstein's animated webcomic. There's not a lot of pages, but it's a prequel to the show from Zeus Guy's perspective. Which, it's hard enough to make a webcomic, but to actually animate that, yeah, I can see why there's not a lot of pages. Gene's also working on another webcomic, Robo Bobo, on Instagram, and has a band he wants to promote, Q-Bomb, which is what you've been listening to during this segment. Links to all that stuff in the pinned comments below.
This is my therapy, I can afford any expertise, so I'm stuck over processing every goddamn thing.
Pim, can we watch something else?
It's about to get really good. It's about to get really good. Trust me.
Honestly, after like 2003, I never really watched or cared for online animation. You know, too much screaming. Who's Psychopebbles and who's Michael Cusack? I don't know, but they created Adult Swim's Smiling Friends, released on April Fool's 2020. Coincidentally, audiences not knowing the cast or crew's history was a major factor in this show's comedy. They wanted to capture a broad audience of people who don't know their work and not rely on their built-in fan bases. Like, look at this.
Hello there, I'm Pim. Would you like to be our friend?
Whoa! What the f, dude? Don't touch me!
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Just a random rotoscope man. Why? No idea. It's just funny and letting loose. There's so much here that I can't describe the humor. You just gotta watch to understand it. Like, look, little kid just running around in the back. I can't explain why that's funny.
Yeah, I used to know how to do an ollie on it, but forgot. Oh, I can do a kickflip though, check this out.
But if you wanted plot, this cartoon follows a business called the Smiling Friends, with employees tasked with bringing people joy, no matter how sad they are. A very simple premise that can fuel plenty of episodes.
What's up, man? What's happening, big guy? What's up with the gun?
Oh, nothing. I was probably gonna use it to shoot myself or something.
And you're hearing that correctly, that is
Mike Stoklasa.
It's a recent pilot, so it could still be on hold or in production. Co-creator Michael Cusack is currently working on YOLO Crystal Fantasy for Adult Swim. Maybe once that series is done, and if it does well, Smiling Friends will get their turn at a show. Now, I was also going to cover another pilot Psychopebbles worked on, but there's a greater story there that I need more research time on. Maybe next time. Don Bluth, Ralph Bakshi, Gord Brody, sure, they innovated animation, but did they create Bamimation?
Bamimation, meet the guy whose tattoo gun barked on his thigh. Bamimation, meet the guy that thinks pirates should never fly.
I don't think so. That's the pilot I'm talking about, starring playable Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 character Bam Margera. What will he do next?
Bam Margera. What will he do next?
Whatever the fuck I want.
I can't believe he chose to end it all like that. And this pilot recorded in 1080p, the P stands for potato, Bam and his crew get into all sorts of wacky antics that'll piss off his parents. It's no different from his reality show, except with more cartoonish situations like using a shrink ray. You kids want to see late Jackass star Ryan Dunn getting shrunk down and butt fucked by a cockroach? Well, here you go.
Not my day, man, not my day.
You've heard of Papa Roach, now get ready to call him Daddy. Not gonna lie, there's surprising amount of insemination in this pilot. Oh sure, there's tons of gross out cartoons already, but something about Bamimation feels like fetish bait for tons and tons of terrible things online. Oh god, no, why? Visually, it looks like an adult version of those Hanna-Barbera celebrity cartoons, pretty much the thing Mike Tyson Mysteries did years later. Despite the animation rigs, I like the style and am almost morbidly curious what other episodes of this show would have been like, but why didn't this get picked up?
Oh, I caught it, let's go.
Besides the gross out stuff. This was 2008, MTV didn't care about animation, Viva La Bam just ended, and I guess his stardom was fading. The world has forgotten about Bam. And look, I was playing Pro Skater 1+2, and they got this poster of the game Bam was in, co-starring with Tony Hawk. Underground 2, the best game in the series, except they took out Bam from the cover. How dare they? Well, they can alter gaming's past, but real history will never forget when Bam became the first guy to shred the USSR. Isn't that right, Soviet textbook? Oh no. What can you say? It's Bamimation. We'll be back with more pilots after these messages. Surfshark VPN, yes sir, the sponsor of tonight's video. What's a VPN? It's great, it changes your internet region and protects your privacy. You got Netflix, just switch regions and bam, you can see what other countries have on their Netflix. It's that easy. How about something to keep you safe, especially on public Wi-Fi? Nothing can stop you. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 83% off plus 3 extra months. This deal won't be around much longer, so get in on that. Don't like that? You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh, what, you got an incognito window on your browser? Wow, that's completely useless. Surfshark VPN. It's got clean web. This thing will block malicious ads and will notify you if your passwords are at risk. Don't trust an internet provider, trust Surfshark VPN. Again, use the code RebelTaxi to get 83% off plus 3 extra months while you still can. You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. VPN.
You're right in the middle of the Cartoon Weekend Summer Fest. Up next, it's the brand new cartoon, BagBoy.
Don't let me down, Matt, or you might find yourself rounding up shopping carts out there.
During the day, Matt is just a normal supermarket bag boy who keeps crushing my loaf of bread with the Clorox bottle at the McAllen HEB, that son of a bitch. But during his breaks, he becomes Bag Boy, tasked with defending the galaxy with his price-marking powers. Each planet has their own Bag Boy, so you can consider this the Green Lantern Corps meets Kevin Smith's Clerks.
Smells like I should mark this item way down.
This was part of the 2002 Cartoon Network Big Pick Weekend where kids voted for the short they wanted greenlit. It's how the likes of Kids Next Door or Billy and Mandy started. BagBoy did not win, but with a premise about retail employees, maybe this series should have aimed for Adult Swim. I remember thinking this short was okay as a kid, but today? It's still pretty average. The humor isn't so great and the powers are incredibly vague, but conceptually, it's a fun idea. Just this sort of minimum wage event art that exists to mock entitled customers. In this universe, every Karen is the enemy.
It's too tight and I hate the color!
But you picked it out!
While BagBoy's pilot remains forgotten, there is a commenter under its YouTube upload claiming this is a ripoff of their comic, which, bro, even if it was a ripoff, it's a failed pilot. You both lost. No one cares. Go home. Here, have a consolation prize.
We give you this. The website says you like pizza.
The fuck kind of pizza is this? You got some popcorn, some purple chewing gum already chewed, triangles from the 90s, and the cheese is just Listerine pocket packs. Get that crap out of my face. Boy, Oh boy, this one takes me back. 2013's Urbance. Imagine Kingdom of Men mixed with Aeon Flux and Jet Set Radio. A grimy, uncomfortable, unrelatable cyberpunk future where people have to remain separated so as not to spread a disease. Sex is forbidden and they all will be the last of the human race. From the visuals alone, it got a lot of people excited online, including me. Unfortunately, Urbance was made at the absolute wrong place and wrong time. First off, it was a project on Kickstarter. Yep, raised money for a single pilot episode. It made roughly $170,000 US, which is almost nothing for animation. The Dick Figures movie made double that, and that was stick figures. 2 years after the campaign, Urbance's pilot came out and was only 6 minutes long.
Unfortunately, animation is a lengthy process, and that's all we've had time to make. Jolly Sizzle Tag.
But was it the most awesome 6 minutes ever?
You ready to get turned up? Given hell sexy thing.
Yeah, while the visuals were cool, the dialogue sounded like the American Dragon co-wrote the script with Malibu's Most Wanted. It is atrocious, while the pilot was too short to really tell you what was going on. Urbance became yet another Kickstarter disappointment that promised too much. Art books, character statues, a tie-in with the indie game Revolt, a stereoscopic 3D version, remember 3D TVs? Oh, and its own little virtual card game still up on Steam.
Can I get a bump?
Seems like they really wanted to make a whole franchise when they barely had the foundation of a single pilot. Also, there was some controversy on, of course, Tumblr. This was long ago, so I don't remember it exactly, but due to the kinda convoluted premise and the misunderstandings, mistranslations from the French-Canadian crew, people got mad.
I wasn't born when the outbreak turned deadly. E1 was only active between chicks and dicks. Once the deed was done, the virus KO'd you in less than a minute.
With the sexes separated to two factions, sex being banned, and these asexual stormtrooper guys running amok, people thought it was a we're being oppressed as heteros story, but they clarified that's not the case at all, and the other genders exist here as good or neutral characters.
Hey, I decide when you get in. Hear that? Next one to push will kiss my gun. Dumbass.
Over time, the hype for Urbance died out as the official website is gone, and no news of more episodes. Though, as of 2019, the official Facebook will occasionally promote the card game. Sucks, bro. But in April 2020, when creator and character designer Joel Dos Reis Viegas was asked if Urbance was cancelled, he replied that it was simply on ice for now. You never know. Urbance released when action cartoons were endangered and streaming hadn't really picked up yet. Maybe in time, the series will find a spot on Netflix or whatever.
Don't give up. Challenge again.
That's not a fight. Over 20 unexpected characters in one big brawl. Now that's a fight. Super Smash Bros. Melee.